Okay, welcome back, everybody, to the Telos Buzz. How's it going?
Hello, Liam. Welcome back, everyone, to the Telos Buzz. It's going absolutely amazing right now. I've got my fresh cup of coffee here. I've also got a new friend who's going to be joining us.
New little,
Look what I made.
adorable.
Oopsie daisy, there you go.
Custom origami purple Telos squirrel.
Yeah.
So cute. Wow.
He is an absolute gem. I won't show you guys the first one that I folded because it was less pretty, but you guys get the nice one.
Does he have a name yet?
The name is I'm sure it'll come to me, whether in a dream or just in waking life. But it's not here yet.
People watching, let's get them to they should suggest a name to us. Let's do this. Okay. Suggest a name for Thomas's squirrel in the comments during this event. The best one, Thomas is going to pick his favorite one. He's going to name the squirrel at the end of this. You'll get a Croco Island NFT. I've played a lot
wow.
Freshly minted Croco Island NFT for the best name for Thomas's squirrel. So drop them in the comments.
Sounds good. That sounds like an absolutely great time. I'm so excited to be able to give him a name on this show.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's always great, as well as bringing on talking about the news and bringing on exciting guests like the guest that we've got today, Betty Waderero, to talk about Green Trace and also some really, really exciting work that she's doing there. It's always fun to have these little fun little things to do. So
yeah,
heck yeah,
keeps the good vibes going. Where are you tuning? Where are you coming to me? Where are you coming to this show from, Thomas? I'm still waking up.
I'm here from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And Liam, what about you?
London, Ontario, the less cool London, but still a very fun one. If you're tuning in, let us know where you're coming from. I see we've got CJ there in the comments. CJ, it's lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining us. I know we've got people from all around the world tuning in. And so, yeah, drop us a note in the comments where you're coming from. We got CJ. She's from Oregon, USA. Fantastic. Very cool. Well, how are you feeling about the week, Thomas? It's been a pretty cool one for Telos.
It most definitely has. And yeah, we're going to start actually with some very exciting news, Liam, that I know that you're very in the know on. So let's hop right into our news. Liam, you want to take it away with some?
Speaking of CJ, we've got the Good Block reps. We're at Telos. Good Block reps from Telos. I can't talk today. We're at the World Economic Forum in Davos. This was super cool to see. Like, this is huge news, I think, for the Telos ecosystem. And it's really great that we were given that platform there and that opportunity to come there. This is like this kind of elite gathering of some of the, top economic minds in our world, NGOs, leaders, different from places of the world, big businesses, people in blockchain were there. The event was super cool to see. And it was Douglas Horn and Erica Elder from Good Block who were going around repping Telos. During that, they got a special invite to be a part of it. And so it's really great to sort of get that foot in the door there and make those connections. We actually did we collaborated with them on a vlog series, which you can find on their YouTube channel. And it shows everything that's been going on each day. It's gorgeous there, first of all. The scenery is amazing. And then second of all, the people that they talked to was very, very high profile. And it was cool to see these people that are not only putting Telos on people's radar, but then also finding out that a lot of these people who were around there at that event already knew about Telos. And this was kind of their first opportunity to make contact with people in the community. So that was just so cool.
Yeah, and so guys, check it out. We've dropped the link to the Good Block channel in the description, so you can go and check out all the videos that I know, Liam, you've been meticulously editing, doing a very good job on. So yeah, go check those out and see what Good Block has been getting up to.
Awesome.
We've got some other stuff going on in our ecosystem, Oh, and we've got a hello from Lamhash.
From Paradise Island. That just sounds way nicer than where I am right now.
Oh,
Paradise.
and a note here from CJ. Erica's repping for both Good Block and as the chair of the Telos Foundation Guardians.
And Douglas repping both for Good Block and the Telos core developers, right, as Telos chief architect. So really great again to have that representation, and always grateful for everything that Good Block does for the ecosystem. Consider voting for them, please do. I guess, this is sort of one of those things where I don't have to say consider because it's not financial advice. Go vote for them and support them because they do amazing work in the ecosystem.
Most definitely. All right, let's move on to some more ecosystem news. This one we had Kudo on as a guest last Friday for the Telos Buzz. Their co-founder Jonah Dirks spoke at a Hyper Games conference earlier this morning, actually, so pretty recently, and he was talking about Kudo on a panel of Web3 games. So still a cool chance for more people to learn about Kudo, to learn about Telos, and to get that name up in front of more eyes. So great to see them going and presenting on that there. I'm not sure if there will be a recording of it. You'll have to go and check in the Kudo Telegram if there's anything about that, but definitely go see if you can get a look at it.
I'm super excited for everything that Kudo has going on right now, and they're getting so close to their mainnet launch, and that's going to bring, I think, so many more users to Telos, right? Things like Kudo, Apex, these kind of gamified social apps, they really help, I think, increase the transactions also on our network as well, right? So really excited that they're getting that high profile stuff. As Gui's saying here, Telos heating up, is everyone cooling off? We are just getting started. I do see we've got some more people coming in here, so before we get on to the next portion of the news, just a reminder, subscribe if you haven't, hit the like button to support us, and hit that bell icon as well to get notified whenever we have some new content. And CJ said it best right here: vote for Telos Culture. If you like what we do, help support everything that we've got going on right now. And the last thing for the people who just joined us, name Thomas's squirrel. Thomas, show us your squirrel again.
Oh, yep, here he comes.
Drop us your favorite names for this lovely origami purple squirrel in the chats, and at the end of it, you will win a Croco Island NFT. We're gonna pick our favorite one. Okay.
All right, now he's gonna turn into a flying squirrel.
That brief interlude. Let's get back to Thomas. What else you got going on for us?
Well, we've got some. Let's go quickly through some quick updates from the Telos Foundation. So something that came out this week was that Telos is listed on ApeSwap. So ApeSwap is a decentralized exchange. They offer a whole bunch of DeFi tools. So what you can do now is you can swap your Telos. You can use your Telos in DeFi farms. Remember, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research when you're checking out DeFi or any of the platforms that enable it. So definitely some news there from the Telos Foundation. And we've got some other one too there about Mission NFT. Now, and Liam, I know you and Evan talked about this on Monday, but what we saw earlier today was an updated timeline for that. It's a Medium article, goes over everything. So now we know that not only is the submission deadline July 23rd, but the public voting is going to be opening then too. So that's going to give people a lot more time to submit, to figure out everything they need to figure out to get submitting. So very excited to see that schedule up there. Let me post the link to the Medium chat in there. So all kinds of cool stuff going on there.
It's very awesome.
Let's blaze through these.
Yeah, keep going because I want to bring Betty in.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of NFTs, let's get to the NFT roundup section.
Yep. Yeah, so question for you guys. If you're an OG Doug's Donuts holder, the 2D ones, Doug's Donuts V2, the 3D ones, they're planning an airdrop if you have 2D ones. Yeah, so that's going to take place once they hit 260 mints. Liam, I know I think you've got a couple of those.
I think I have like 2 or 3 of the OGs. You got one first, gave me FOMO. This was like kind of one of the things that really got the NFT markets going on Telos. I think all these people are like, hey, there's these new donuts things. And I like went on Area X and I was like, oh man, I missed out. So I bought one on resale at the time for 100 Telos. I think it was probably one of the, most valuable NFTs at the time. I like to think that I helped kind of push up the floor there maybe. But now, of course, there's some larger sales on the markets. But I think it's donut number like 6 or something, like pretty early on. Maybe it's 13. It's one of my prized possessions, though. So I'm excited for this airdrop.
Well, there you go. Well, Liam, you'll have to head over to the Doug's Donuts Telegram and check out, what you got to do to claim your airdrop. Now, this will happen, this airdrop, once I hit 260 mints. They're around 200, a bit over there right now. And they've upped some Telos prizes for different minting things. So go and check it out in their Telegram, learn everything you need to learn. Liam.
Awesome. Gooey's Barnyard Critters, halfway through their first season. Check out the interview from Gooey last week to learn a little more. This project is super cool. There is a fun raffle aspect of it. There's going to be a DAO involved in it and some other aspects of it as well. Gooey's kind of kicking this off with his critters, but I think there's plans to look at getting other artists involved as well. We chatted with him on Monday about it, so you can learn more about it there. But it is bumping right now, and again, part of my prized NFT collection, I've got critter number 1. Pretty psyched about that, and cool to see this project doing so well. Maybe next week we'll give away some barnyard critters if things manage to complete their mint.
Most definitely. Well, one last thing to talk on to, and then we'll bring on our guests. We're very excited to talk with Betty. There's actually a new collection that slipped by our radar. It's called The Undead. I know very little about it because I really, the way I found out about it was I was looking through Byte, and it was one of the collections up there. There's only so go and check out. You can join their Telegram to learn more. Looks like a skeleton looking collection. So if that sounds like up your alley, go and check it out, and you can learn so much more there. Heck yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, shall we get to the moment we've all been waiting for? Let's bring in Betty Way-Thorero from greentrace.io. I'm super excited to have her here. She's doing just fantastic work in the Telos ecosystem. Her project to me really is just like a sleeping giant, especially not just for blockchain, but for the environmental sector, ESG, all of that. The best projects in the space are always the ones that aren't just the blockchain version of XYZ. They're actually solving a problem and just use blockchain as a tool. And that's exactly what Betty's doing. So welcome, Betty. Great to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? I just wanted to let you know I also have an original Doug's Donut. In fact, I think I have 3, and I can't wait for this airdrop.
You've got a Doug's Donut whale.
I went a bit crazy early on. I'll be honest. I went a bit crazy and just kept buying I bought these squirrels. I bought there was a kitten collection.
The cool cat. I have those too.
Ones in little boxes.
Yeah, the ones in the boxes. Yeah. So I kind of got really hooked very early on.
No, that's great.
And I'm looking forward to learning more about the barnyard critters. And is it the piggies? Which is the one? It's called piggies.
Yeah, it's super cute. Well, before we jump into things and talk about GreenTrace, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Because not only are you involved in GreenTrace, you're also a Telos Foundation board member. You've done work with Gooey before, doing NFT stuff. You do a lot of stuff in this space. So maybe just a quick intro on who you are and what you're doing in the Telos ecosystem.
Thanks for the opportunity. Been teaching myself about blockchain for the past 2012, since 2012. So I started with teaching myself about renewable energy, and then looked for the tooling that can help realize what some of my ideas. It wasn't easy because we are talking about at the time there was Ethereum. Before that there was just Bitcoin. Then when Ethereum came along, it does have the smart contracting facilities, but then it's too expensive. And so I got introduced to Telos roughly around last year. and I just got fascinated. I ended up doing several deep dives, kind of memorizing bits of the white paper. I keep going back to Telos governance, and I was really, really taken by this particular build, the capabilities of Telos native, especially. Just had a connection
We got you
issue.
back now.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I was saying that I got fascinated with Telos Native, and when I got on board, we were just auditing the EVM just before the launch. And once I realized what the EVM can do while sitting on the native, it just blew my mind. And that's when Green Trace started, formulating. And so, I started combining my knowledge of what's going on in the renewable sector with the kind of build that is available on Telos. So, and that inspired me also to try and bring that kind of real world capability to the ecosystem, the community, and the foundation. So that's when I decided, let me run for this election. And also my idea was because the execution of my concept was based in Africa. It's an opportunity for us to bring an entire population of millions of people to Telos. Because of the way it's built, it's absolutely perfectly suited for a population that has gaps in its financial and payment systems. It has gaps in settlements and so on. So I think that Telos, and I've always said this, I think that Telos was perfectly built for populations in the global south. And we just needed something to, catalyze, to allow these millions of people to come on board. So yeah, that's my background. So I ran for the election, got a seat on the board, and now we are all called Telos Guardians. I do secretary work, which, by the way, is not like the legal secretary. I just take notes and make sure our documentation is up to speed, and make sure everyone's doing their tasks and so on. Yeah.
That's so cool. It's great how involved you are, and it's really cool to hear, I think, your journey also, from just hearing about Telos and getting the Telos bug, I think, that everyone gets when they first find out about Telos. And now you're so deeply involved in the ecosystem in so many ways in such a short period of time too. It's funny, the pre-EVM days seem like a very long time ago, but it was six months ago, right? So
yeah. It was just 6 months ago, and and that's why I'm so excited about so many projects, especially the barnyard critters, the piggies that are running on the EVM. I'm looking forward to seeing more applications and more projects just taking advantage of this excellent facility. One of the first of its kind, I think. Yeah.
Totally. So speaking of that, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Green Trace is, and how it's going to be using Telos, and what gets you excited about the Telos technology for what you're going to be doing with Green Trace?
Okay, so I'll just start with what problem am I solving in the first place. There is a problem with waste collection in general in Africa. And this is because, like I mentioned earlier, there are gaps in our system. Those gaps prevent us from being effective in our collection of waste materials, recycling, and so on. I'm really sorry about that, but yeah, just to
it's only for very small amounts of time, so no worries.
Okay, good. So one of the gaps is we have a growing solar industry, and of course it makes sense. There's a lot of sun in Africa, So we have a growing solar industry, but then it's unregulated. So we have a lot of products that are coming in that are not meeting standards. They're not. You can't have a warranty with them. They break easily, and they all end up either in landfills or they're disposed of in a dangerous manner. And to actually be able to regulate the solar industry so that they not only use renewable approaches, but they are sustainable, we came up with Green Trace. So what Green Trace does is we track the electronic components in those solar products that are coming into this country, and we license the producers with a sustainability application, okay? As long as they're using the application for all the products that are coming into the country, and as long as they've registered those products onto Green Trace, then they have that mark of sustainability. Otherwise, they're not sustainable. They're just littering, and they might be solving a problem in terms of electricity or lanterns and so on, but they are creating a worse environmental problem using renewable products. So that's what Green Trace does. All these components, all these electronic components end up, and the data sits on Telos Native. And then within Telos EVM, we allow the users and their producers and their customers to exchange crypto. They get rewarded with crypto whenever they return and recycle these solar products. So in a nutshell, that's what Green Trace does. There's more to it because Green Trace is partnering with a platform called .send, and .send is a payments ecosystem. And what .send has accomplished in the last few years is they went for an e-money license, which provides the opportunity for crypto to be legally become legal tender in Kenya. And they have actually made great headway. They've been granted the license. Now it is to just enact the license. So .send has a capability to have one of the first stable coins that has a 1-to-1 ratio with Kenya's fiat currency, the Kenya shilling. And now you have an ecosystem where people are able to participate in climate action, recycle, earn crypto, and exchange it for a stable coin. And that is the rollout strategy for this year. So yeah, that's how far we've gotten. And yeah, we're very excited about that.
That's super exciting. That's such crazy infrastructure, I think, to build, and really cool to hear about the creative way of using blockchain really to impact the sustainable industry. I don't think people really think about those different ways that you can apply it, and looking at things like supply chain and tracking where things are coming from, and is probably one of the most powerful uses of it. And then the fact that you're pairing it now with thinking about the actual economic activity, right? So the stable coin and that kind of stuff, it just makes things so much more powerful. So that's super amazing to hear about all of that. I have a note here to just ask a bit about how greenwashing plays into the ESG conversation, because I know we've talked about this before. And how does it impact your work and its direction, and what are you trying to do there?
So there are lots of, and you'll find, like I mentioned earlier, that in the solar and renewable sector, actually in general, you have a lot of producers who have registered themselves. They claim sustainability. They have the marketing around it, but they're not meeting those policies, those standards. And so Green Trace allows them through licensing to actually meet the sustainability standards and meet the policies set out by the government of Kenya. And so this is how we eliminate greenwashing. You can't just say my solar products as a producer, my solar energy is green. We're going to say, where's your license? Where's your data? You're not even part of the, this particular ecosystem that we have created. You need to get on board for you to say that you're green. And that eliminates the sort of marketing, because that's what greenwashing really is. It's a way of you position yourself you market yourself, you claim things about yourself and your products, that you're green, when actually you just are renewable. Because to be actually green, you have to meet science-based targets, you have to actually participate in climate action, you have to take responsibility for the waste that comes out of your manufacturing and your marketing process. So that's how we solve that.
Yeah, and this is something that hearing you talk about green trace is something that really stands out, is that you're looking at the solar industry across its whole life cycle. Where does it start? How does it come into the country? Where does it go afterwards? Which, yeah, is definitely something that can slip out of your mind when you're thinking of, as you're saying, like, oh well, we're getting solar energy. You look at all these lanterns that are putting up, but like what happens when they break down? Where do they go? So it's really, really incredible work that you're keeping track of this and making sure that these environmental efforts are actually helping the planet. And I know that you've actually got another one of your goals about tree planting as part of the work that you're doing with Green Trace and environmentalism. So why don't you tell us about that? What are your goals for the next year around planting trees?
Yes. So as I mentioned, we have our native crypto that sits within Green Trace, and that crypto we're calling it Sarafu. So what happens is, aside from you can redeem crypto when you return your broken solar products, when you recycle. There's an opportunity for climate action, and that opportunity is planting trees and looking after them. Okay. So what we have done is we have decided, we're going to reward people to actually go out there, plant a tree, and look after it for 10 years. And we'll give you a lot of crypto. We'll give you quite a bit just to do that. And in this way, we want to set goals. So one of the goals, and I just said, I said, okay, let's really shock people. Let's make sure people understand that this is very possible. One of the goals I said arbitrarily, I said, let's set a goal of 1 trillion trees within our first year of rollout. And I know that sounds like it's a lot, but if you think about it in terms of getting forest services involved, in terms of getting stakeholders like the Rotarian societies, churches, you have all these schools and people involved, and they can be rewarded for the work that they're doing, then 1 trillion trees is actually very possible. And so, yeah, I'm optimistic that we'll pass that mark. We might shock people and just pass that mark. Of course, there's a lot of thinking around, logistically, where are these trees going to be planted? Who's doing the planting? Who's getting the seedlings, the seeds, and all that? But if you have even 1,000 people committed to that one goal, and they're earning crypto, I think it's actually very possible to just create all these networks and execute. Yeah.
That's so cool. It's an ambitious goal, but I mean, you're the one to get it done. And it sounds like that's just such a great way to do it. I'm curious now, this is kind of off the side of Green Trace, because we are getting near the end of things, but you're doing so many things. What keeps you going? What keeps you optimistic, and how do you manage to do all of this? Do you ever sleep? Because I think that working in the environmental sector can be one of those things that is, it can be hard, I think, to find that energy to keep going and keep pushing forward with these missions, especially when you see all the things that need to be done, and it seems super easy, but there's so many, so much red tape to go through to get there. So it sort of gives you that sense of optimism and that energy to keep going through all of this.
One of the things that, and I think everyone in the blockchain world understands this, one of the things that has allowed all these platforms, all these projects to grow is collaboration. And this is one of the ways in which I'm able to stay optimistic. There's so many people collaborating with me. There's so many people who have bought in, who are now sold out, and they're like, you know what, let's try it. If it fails, we'll try again, but let's do this. And And so that keeps me optimistic. They're believers, I'm a believer, and you can see the same sort of collaboration and enthusiasm within Telos community itself, that you have all these people doing all this work. I mean, in the last 1 year, I don't even know how much. There's a lot that has happened within the Telos ecosystem. So how do you stay optimistic? How are you getting all this? Also, I don't sleep at night. That's when I really, my brain, that's when my brain is really working. So I've learned to go with my own rhythms, and and keep the work done during the day to a minimum now that I have so many people collaborating with me. Yes, but it took a while to build those networks. It took a while to build those relationships, and I'm very happy that they're still successful and they're still going well. Yeah.
That makes total sense. Collaboration is so key, and it is the thing I think that sets Web3 apart from other industries out there. Is nothing is ever zero sum, right? The more you work with others, really, the better it impacts everybody. And so, yeah, that I think that communal energy, especially in Telos, is what keeps us all going, especially during times like these, right, with the bear market and everything like that. Having other people, with this shared vision and shared missions, or different missions, but that are aligned and working together, it's just such a great feeling. So I admire your ability to keep going, and I'm so excited for the year ahead and everything that you have coming out with this, and excited to see you present at Consensus, right?
Yes.
So, it's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that myself. Yeah.
And now, Betty, where can people go if they want to learn more about Green Trace? Where's the best place for people to go and learn more?
Well, the best place to have conversations is directly with me on Twitter. Of course, you can find me if you're in the Telegram chats with the Telos community. You can always at me at Betty Njoroge, and I'll be able to see and respond to any questions you might have. Another great place is Telos Foundation chat as well. You can easily reach me there. For now, I need to make sure that my website is up and running by Monday. And as soon as that is also ready, I'll make sure that Liam and Thomas have the link. And then you can go there and just, browse around, have a look at what we are working on and the kind of vision that we have.
That's great. All right, guys. So head to those links in the chat there and make sure that you follow Betty and stay in the loop with everything. So much is going to come out down the pipeline for you so quickly. So people want to be staying in the loop, I'm sure. Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting near the end of our segment. We have to get back to the squirrel. We only had, I think, one suggestion for a squirrel name here, Thomas. So I think it's got to be the winner.
I think so.
Congrats to CJ. Let's hold up Ace T Acorn one more time.
There he is.
Our new Telos Culture friend, Ace T Acorn. Named by CJ Walters. CJ, you're gonna get a Croco Island NFT. So just we know each other. Shoot me a DM on Telegram and send me your Telos EVM address, and I'll make sure that you get that. All right. Well, Betty, it's been a pleasure having you here. We're so grateful for the time you can join us and talk about this project, and really grateful that you're bringing it to Telos as well. I think it's so important to have people who are thinking creatively about the future and how this technology can regenerate the world around us, and that's exactly what you're doing. So thank you for all your work.
Thank you for hosting me.
Of course. And to the community here who's watching, thanks for coming out and joining us. Make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified when we go live, like things, and share this with your friends. And of course, vote for us as a BP on the main net. Somewhere around there. Yeah, we'll see you guys all on Monday for another Telos Buzz.
We'll see you then. Thank you again, Betty, and thanks to everyone who was watching today. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Take care. Bye.